There's another good SEC game this week. The biggest game in the Southeastern Conference is going to take place in Tuscaloosa. You got LSU taking on Alabama. And the interesting part here is it's Nick Saban against the guy that replaced him, Les Miles. Let's hear from the coaches.
This will not be about the head coaches. And I appreciate Coach Saban's past and his passing through Louisiana, and certainly respect what he was able to accomplish here. We look to go forward from there.
The kind of game that you probably come to the University of Alabama or a place like this in the SEC to have the opportunity to play, in a nationally televised game, a game that has a lot of attention, for all the players. And the focus on the game should be about the players, not about anything else.
Anyone that loves college football marked this game on their calendar when Saban took the job. And look at this. Alabama, LSU, both 4-1. Whoever wins this game in the driver's seat in the SEC West, trying to get to Atlanta and play for the SEC championship game. Curtis, Les said it's not about the coaches, but come on, man, it is.
That's a bunch of BS. I know both those guys, and I can tell you that this has started once Nick Saban got the job in January at Alabama. There was talk behind the scenes about Nick Saban and his staff potentially violating rules, going in and telling Louisiana recruits, you shouldn't go down to LSU because Les Miles is down there, you can win with us. This bad blood has continued. Les Miles made a kind of off-color remark about Alabama during the recruiting bash. He got caught up in the energy of the whole thing. I'm telling you that these guys don't like each other. And for Saban and Les Miles to say that they don't really care about this and it's not about
They care. They care.
Well, of course they care. They're human. That off-color remark, they just blew that up. And I think everyone overreacted. If you've ever lived in Louisiana like I did for 4 years with the New Orleans Saints, we always call each other that off-color remark. But what the bad blood is with this defense. Glenn Dorsey, he's doubtful for the game because of Chaz Ramsey, the guard at Auburn, who chop blocked.
That was a cheap shot.
They should suspend him. That's where all the bad blood is. But if LSU is to win their 16th straight game in November, it's going to be because of their defense. But when you look at that defense, some question marks in the red zone. 74% of the time when their opponents get in the red zone, they score touchdowns. And when you're talking about a defense we've lauded all season long, they've got to do better there. But the big man, Dorsey, he has to show up. The defense has to show up, and I think they can get it done against Alabama.
I think the difference here, this game being played at Alabama, is the reason why Alabama is going to win this game. You can talk about all you want. The reason why Nick Saban is at Alabama making $4 million a year is that this is the kind of game that he has to win. Because college football, unlike any other sport, is about intensity. It's about motivation. If Mark Richt is going to send out his entire team to try to win a game, that's what it's about. It's also about Terry Grant at running back, averaging 5.5 yards a game. A carry. The point is this. Alabama defensively maybe isn't as great as LSU, but they do have a young man who can get the needed yards between the tackle. John Parker Wilson's been outstanding. He can catch the ball in the flat. Kent Grant as well, and DJ Hall, 13 balls 2 weeks ago against Tennessee, playing at home. Forget all the stats, all the numbers, the players. They win this game because Saban Nation will rally behind Nick Saban.
Well, they're going to need that whole nation to stop LSU. Now, I agree with you. Grant Coffey, great running backs, fine. But they're going to stack the box. You got one receiver, Hall, out there who they can stick a man-to-man on, and they're going to stack the box, and they're going to stop the running game of Alabama.
Do you think Alabama won't stack the box against LSU?
I'm sure they will, but they can't cover Doucette. They can't cover LaFave. Can they cover all those receivers?
One quick thing about LSU, Ryan Perlow, still don't know if he's going to make the trip or not because of off-the-field incident.
How many times does he have to get in trouble?
Even so, he's only touching the ball 6 or 10 times a game, so it's not going to make that big of an impact.
The weird thing here is both coaches had a bye week to get ready for this game. It was big enough already. Both coaches get 2 weeks to prepare for it. It has to be the game we're going to this weekend on the Chick-fil-A SEC Tailgate. We're going to be live in Tuscaloosa. I've never been, so I'm very excited. The locals in Tuscaloosa are going to love me.
Dreamland Barbecue.
LSU, Alabama, live, 12 o'clock Eastern. We are going to give you the best pregame show the SEC can offer. It's an hour of jam-packed SEC information. It's called the Chick-fil-A SEC Tailgate at 12 o'clock. And the reason we're there is because, well, it's the SEC on CBS. It is the game of the week. Third-ranked LSU trying to beat Alabama, and they may go into this as the underdog because Nick Saban is a genius in many people's minds. It's Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern. Vern and Gary and Tracy, the SEC on CBS.